Buenos dias. Relentless building and relentless shipping is one of the core strengths of the Cosmos ecosystem and the broader interchain. And ever since I discovered Cosmos in late 2020, I did my best to document and help educate you to navigate through the interchain and IBC economy. And to be honest, I feel we came very, very far. Sure, price development has been underwhelming over the past couple of months, especially, but the overall growth, adoption, and implementation of Cosmos technology, which really is the most important, especially around IBC, is absolutely through the roof. So that's why in today's video, I don't only want to talk about a time-sensitive airdrop, but also about one new chain that has chosen the Cosmos stack to build on, and many more interchain-related news. But as always, we're starting with a bit of a macro update and also just general views on crypto. And to be honest, I first off want to give a huge shout out to the Mantra team. The OM token is now not only in the top 100, but ranked 81 and has a fully diluted valuation of around $1 billion. I think with today's pump, we're scratching at the $1 billion mark. So massive shout out to JP and the Mantra team. I've been knowing JP, Will, and also Prof K actually since 2018, because back in 2018, I was doing an exchange year in Shanghai, China, which is where the epicenter of crypto was back in the days, which is unbelievable today. But back in the days, Shanghai was the Dubai plus New York combined. Like Shanghai was just the epicenter of crypto. So I met these guys back then. And honestly, seeing them so successful today is a result of relentless hustling and grinding throughout the years, and just talking to absolutely everyone around the world that is in crypto to get a feeling for the market, to also get a feeling of what is the next move that I can take as a founder, as a core team member, to help my project become not only extremely relevant, but to also be one of the top contenders in dominating an entire niche. And that is exactly what Mantra has been doing. So huge shout out. They have closed a huge partnership in Dubai, in the UAE. I talked about it in the last video. Their $500 million tokenization project in Dubai. So that is big. And I think that is only the beginning. So I just wanted to give them a special spotlight here today, because I really feel like they deserve that. And I've seen their relentless hustling over the years firsthand. Now talking about the ETF flows in general, right? Bitcoin spot ETF flows, we have seen another green day, $147 million, while all eyes are still on the Ethereum ETF to actually start trading. We're waiting for the final S1 applications to be confirmed. This is just a formality, and I think we are going to see that within days. So that is going to come, and that is going to open the liquidity gates for ETH as an asset, but also for altcoins, because that also drives more credibility to the altcoin sector, and also proof of stake chains, because remember, Ethereum is a proof of stake network. Besides that, we also have big news from the Republican Party. The Republican Party platform has shared a 15-page document, I think, where they're basically outlining their goals and their objectives. And on page 9 of that document, you can find number 5, champion innovation, of which crypto is one part in. And they basically have 5 points here. 1, and crypto crackdown, which was started by the Democrat Party as per this document. No CBDC, which is very important in my opinion. CBDC, central bank digital currencies, are a systemic threat to our privacy and sovereignty, and just further take away more power and control from the individual and give it to states. So very dangerous. Basically the entire antithesis and the entire opposite of what cryptocurrencies are supposed to be doing in the first place, which is to empower the individual, separate money from state, and that is exactly what CBDCs would entirely destroy. They also say they want to protect the right to mine Bitcoin and I guess other proof of work networks. Also the right to self-custody, very important, and also the right to transact freely, very important. So interesting statement here. You can find a full report also here on this website. I can also link it below this video, and here below on page 9 you can find exactly what I was just talking about. Crypto Republicans will end Democrats' unlawful and un-American crypto crackdown and oppose the creation of a central bank digital currency. They will defend the right to mine Bitcoin and ensure every American has the right to self-custody of the digital assets and transaction free from government surveillance and control. big if true, big words at least. Like I said in many videos in the previous weeks and months, crypto is now on the political stage. Trump is presenting himself as the crypto president. And this not only means that they are most likely getting votes for that, and it could also be a decisive factor for this year's election, which is coming up in November, but also it basically forces the Democrats to also react and to also talk more positive about crypto and change their tone, right? So that's all about that. I think this is very, very interesting dynamics. Obviously, it's politics. Politics basically means that these candidates and their parties are saying things that gets them votes, right? They would say anything that gets them votes. What is actually going to be interesting is whether they're executing upon their promises, which historically never is the case. I think one of the few exceptions here would probably be President Milei in Argentina, but I think that's also a very, very rare example. Anyways, we also have President Donald J. Trump apparently confirmed to speak at this year's Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville. So that is interesting news on a macro level. Now let's look deeper into the Cosmos ecosystem. Price-wise, we're not seeing much activity, slightly down today. Some coins are slightly up, but overall flat. And then we had one big announcement from Lava Network that the community on Twitter is also now talking about a lot. And Lava Network is a project that I've been in touch with since late summer of 2022. So it's been a long time. They were also at Cosmos Medellin, Cosmos Istanbul. They're also going to be in Dubai this year. And they're basically building the modular access gate into crypto, right? They're basically building RPC infrastructure, fixing the Infura problem for good, which is something that has always been a kind of systemic risk for crypto because a lot of the RPC infrastructure in Ethereum depends on Infura, and this is basically a centralized entity. And if that doesn't work or gets shut down or whatever, then all crypto applications and wallets have a big problem. And we've seen some outages in the past, but that's maybe another topic for another video. What Lava just announced is now the Vesuvius airdrop, which is their airdrop program. And that obviously, as always, also caused a bit of a controversy around the crypto community because obviously not everyone is eligible. They have around 70,000 wallets that are eligible though, and you might be one of them, especially if you are either of these. If you're a Lava early user, if you are a crypto power user or community, which also includes the Celestine Sloth Society and bad kids holders. For bad kids, however, you needed to have at least 2 bad kids in your wallet, so not one. And that obviously excludes a lot of not only small investors, but also a lot of people that are trying to sibble and game the system by diversifying their, let's say, 5 bad kids or 6 bad kids onto unique wallets in order to maximize airdrop eligibility. But then also you needed to have, I think if you have a sloth, 1 sloth is enough, but you also needed to have at least $1 worth of stars in your wallet. So there are a lot of very strict rules around it, which is why a lot of people are not eligible, including myself. I'm not eligible. I have 2 bad kids, but on 2 wallets, and I do not own a Celestine Sloth either. Educators and content creators, I think, had to verify their profiles, but I also have not participated there, or I'm not aware how that exactly works. But you can also cross-check and verify your Twitter profile and see if you're eligible for that airdrop. And then there's an interesting one, which is the Atom community pool. And that is actually due to a approved grant proposal by the AADAO, the Atom Accelerator, who gave a grant to Lava Network a couple of months back. And now Lava is basically giving back to the Atom community pool. The airdrop also includes some contributors and technical people. Actually, those get the most, which also makes a lot of sense. Lava is also not a B2C, but rather a B2B platform in that sense, mainly. They're also seeking more and more integrations with wallets and chains, which is why it kind of makes sense to incentivize node operators, but also builders in the space, builders and contributors. Now, I'm not going to go a lot more into detail here because Winnie from Stakesito, she did an excellent job in providing you a full breakdown of the airdrop and how and where you can claim.
Hi everybody, it's Winnie from Stakesito, and today I'm excited to share some updates about the Lava mainnet launch and Lava's Vesuvius airdrop, whose claim page just went live. So yeah, as validators of Lava, we at Stakesito want to keep everybody informed about these key events and what you can expect. So yeah, let's dive right into claiming the airdrop. This distribution has begun, and it is designed to reward an array of contributors of the Lava community, highlighting Lava's commitment to what they call creating a community of communities. The Lava Genesis will distribute 6% of the total Lava supply, which is around 55 million Lava tokens, to around 70,000 eligible users and wallets. And yeah, so the airdrop is going to be focusing on several key groups within the Lava community, and these include Lava core testnet users who participated in testing and development phases of Lava. We've got Magma points users who earned these points through various community engagements to build brand awareness for Lava. And then we've got top community members from, communities such as Movement. I actually got this t-shirt here in Brussels at their integrated event yesterday. They've got the Graph and several other, community contributors. And then they've got node runners who've been running nodes. They've got technical contributors who've been contributing to Eigenlayer, Flashbots, Celestia, and the Cosmos SDK. So yeah, let's talk about claiming. First, you're going to want to go to claims.lavanet.xyz. This is the only official site for claiming the Vesuvius airdrop, so be careful of any other sites that tell you otherwise. Then you're going to want to check your eligibility. So once you're on the site, you can do this by entering your wallet address without needing to connect your wallet or sign any transactions at this stage, which I really like, by the way. So yeah, you want to make sure to check each criterion as you might be eligible under multiple categories. So for example, if you have a Cosmos-based address, you want to check for Lava, you want to check for Cosmos, and you want to check your Stargaze wallet. Same for EVM wallets, you want to check all the different addresses. And for contributors to Lava Specs, Eigenlayer, Flashbots, Cosmos SDK, or Celestia, if you've contributed to all of them, you want to check eligibility for all of them. So yeah, then you're going to want to verify your eligibility by connecting your wallet and signing a transaction to confirm that you own the address that you entered. For some criteria like Discord verification, you're going to need to verify your account ownership by linking your Discord account to complete this verification. So once you verify, you're going to see the exact amount that you will be eligible to receive at Lava's TGE, which from what I've heard is going to be very soon after the airdrop claiming is complete. So yeah, then once you've verified, you need to connect and sign a transaction with your Lava testnet wallet address. This address will automatically transition to a mainnet address in the future, and your Lava will be distributed to this wallet once mainnet goes live. And then finally, all you have to do is, wait for distribution, and this will happen at mainnet. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up my video. Lava is taking a very community-first approach with its mainnet and token launch, and yeah, we're very excited to see how this unfolds. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates and make sure to claim your Vesuvius airdrop. Peace.
Note, by the way, that you only have until July 18th, so this is time sensitive, so that is 1 week left, but I strongly recommend you to do it right after watching this video, so you just have it out of your way and you're not forgetting it and get into time pressure later on. Next up, I want to talk about Story Protocol, which, to be honest, I did not have on my radar at all, but Sepmas from my research team here at Cryptosito, he prepared it for me in today's video, and as I read through his remarks and some of the links and sources, I was really interested in actually spend some time learning more about Story Protocol, where they come from, who's behind it, what are some of the backers, what is kind of their network and their ecosystem, because I have never heard about this project. But what they're basically building is a chain that specializes on tokenization of intellectual property, IP, right? And especially in a world where artificial intelligence is gaining more and more traction and also has more consumer applications and consumers generally, I think it is getting very, very interesting on the tokenization field, because I think so far we always affiliated tokenization with real world assets, as in tokenizing financial products or real estate, which is also what Mantra is doing. But Story Protocol is basically saying that the intellectual property market is much larger. So they're focused on that, and they're building a custom sovereign blockchain for that, a sovereign layer 1 blockchain. And guess where it is built on? This world's IP blockchain, Story Network L1, is built on the Cosmos SDK. This is built on the Cosmos SDK, also leveraging the EVM. I have not figured out exactly if they're using EVM OS or a similar, or maybe built on the early Ethermint framework and they have built it then, or if they build their own stack. But In any case, interesting to see that I have chosen Cosmos, but it's also great to see that more and more builders and teams are choosing the Cosmos stack, to be honest, to a point where I personally am losing the oversight because it's just getting too much too fast. We have Celestia, Sei Network, we have Kronos, Fetch AI, which is now the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Those are all full-on Cosmos chains. We also have new ones like Barra Chain, Babylon. We also have Nillion coming up in the AI sector. We also now have Story Protocol and also Krafton, which is building a chain called Settlers. And that's a team that's behind PUBG, which is one of the most successful games worldwide. So those are all builders that are getting into Cosmos. This is all intellectual mindshare and developer mindshare that is getting into Cosmos. This is all funding that is getting into Cosmos, because being a sovereign layer 1 blockchain that is built on the Cosmos SDK, uses IBC, also means that all their teams are basically aligned to ensure that IBC works, is secure, is smooth, scales, gets more and more adoption, and also becomes as robust and resilient as possible, right? So all their foundations, their investor circle, they're all backing that up, and they're also betting on Cosmos as an ecosystem. You can find everything around Story Protocol here on the website, storyprotocol.xyz, which also includes their network of investors and their ecosystem and partnerships, and also an overview of their team. But I think what's very, very interesting is that they actually raised $54 million, which is a lot of money to begin with. And this is an article from September of last year, but also who invested. And we have A16Z and Endeavor as the lead investors. And also they landed David S. Goyer as an advisor. And David apparently has been part of a lot of big films, movies, and also games. I think also there's a paragraph around him and how he's also involved in Call of Duty and also The Dark Knight, Blade, and so on and so forth. So this is all very interesting. Well, first of all, it doesn't mean a lot, right? I mean, we all know that historically, all these crypto projects, especially if they're pre-launch, they're all kind of building up their ecosystem. There's a lot of narrative and storytelling around, right? Also about, for example, Paris Hilton being invested there. Doesn't mean that Paris Hilton now is personally involved into that project. But this is definitely an interesting direction where this is going. Balaji being invested is also very interesting. And I'm just sharing all of this with you here as I am personally doing my own early research here. Also some background about the team, who is an ex-product lead at Google's DeepMind. So they also have a kind of AI background. We also have Weilei Yu, who was previously the lead growth of Flow blockchain at Dapper Labs, and so on and so forth. So very, very interesting kind of composition here of the team and their investor circle, and great to see that they're joining Cosmos and the IBC gang. Now, switching over to general Cosmos news, we have a new asset page from Osmosis. This one was highly requested by the community because first off, they had a really great asset page. Then they launched a new one, which really sucked. But now they did a big, big facelift to the new one, which has a lot of features that were there in the previous one, but they even now refined and improved that. So that's good to see. You can play around there. And if there's any improvements you have, you can either let me know under the video here or also just directly contact the team. Then we also have news from Picasso. Picasso Network is the interoperability hub in crypto in Cosmos. They have shipped IBC to Solana, to Ethereum, to Polkadot and Kusama, and also now are working on Bitcoin IBC, which is very, very bullish for getting IBC everywhere. That's also the mantra and the slogan of Picasso Network. And that's also why I joined Picasso as an advisor, amongst others, but also because I really want to support them on their mission to get IBC everywhere, right? Picasso is basically also a bet on IBC underneath. And they're showing here now that they are in the deep research phase, and that they're also now focused on getting IBC to Bitcoin next. Next up, we have a rebrand from Skip Protocol, which is doing a lot of critical infrastructure in and around Cosmos when it comes to oracles, when it comes to cross-chain swaps, because IBC.fun was built by Skip Protocol, but IBC.fun is now also rebranding as part of that broader rebrand into go.skip.build. So IBC.fun is history, but it still looks the same, but it just has also more features and is a bit more serious, I guess. I don't know. I really like the brand, also IBC.fun, but it was also entirely kind of decorrelated from the Skip brand. So I totally understand also if they want to have Skip in the name. Rest in peace, IBC.fun. Skip.go is the future, and you can do a lot more swaps here now. I think they also have Solana integrated here, so that's also interesting. And Skip is really doing God's work when it comes to shipping and maintaining core infrastructure in the Cosmos ecosystem, also abstracting a lot of the user complexity away, right? Because IBC.fun, now go to skip.bill, has been a real game changer for interacting with IBC in Cosmos. Next up, we have a big update from Sei Network. Sei Network is currently transitioning into V2, and V2 is going to be the fastest and most performant EVM chain there is. V2 is bringing parallelized EVM execution to the market. This means around 400 milliseconds block finality, and I think up to 12,500 TPS. I think currently it can do around 4,000 or 5,000. Ethereum can only do 20, but somewhere in their documentation here, which is also updated now, I saw that exactly here, currently can do 5,000 per second, and 12.5 is the theoretical max. So that is a 100x improvement to the EVM. And Sei is also with that front-running Monad. And Monad is another highly anticipated launch this year, not only because they're also in the parallel EVM execution field, but also because they raised $225 million, and that's a lot of money. In fact, that is the most money of the upcoming TGEs for the second half of 2024, followed by Aleo, where we also, by the way, wish the Exito part of the testnet. And then also Berachain is only ranked 4 here, and Berachain raised over $140 million. And then also Babylon is only ranked 6th with 96 million. The latest $70 million round was really big, led by Paradigm. Also Binance Labs invested. So very interesting, this list here, and also interesting to see Monad up there and Sei Network basically front-running them with their parallelized EVM execution layer. Then we also have some updates from Saga. The Saga Vault 3 snapshot has been taken, which marks the 4th airdrop already. We got the first 2 vaults plus an original Saga airdrop itself. And so far, all airdrops included Saga tokens, but also now since Vault 2, we're seeing more and more Saga ecosystem tokens and NFTs being airdropped as well. So make sure to just bookmark that page, claim.airdrop.saga.xyz, to stay up to date, and also just check in there every now and then to not miss out on any airdrops. And you should, by the way, do the same for the Stride airdrop page, because here you not only have these ongoing airdrops where you can basically airdrop farm, but also every month or so they are distributing airdrops and recycle unclaimed airdrops to those who claimed. And that means you're constantly getting STRD tokens, which is why you should really watch out there. Then we also have some news, actually a lot of big news from Stargaze for the Stargaze product chain itself and some of the features that are coming. Atom August was announced. I made a teaser about it the other week. Now we have all the details. In August, all featured collections will mint in Atom as part of the Atom Accelerator grant for Atom minting on Stargaze. And this not only means good kind of marketing and use case for Atom itself, but also this is gamified. And if you are a creator and you want to participate and maybe get some rewards here, and if you fill it out, also make sure to tag me here, my Twitter profile. I'm going to also leave it to you next to the link for this form. And the primary purpose of this 50K grant that was given by the AEDAO to Stargaze for this campaign is not only to onboard new creators also outside of Cosmos, but also to strengthen Atom's role and to drive more utility for the Atom token. Then we're also halfway through for deploying contracts on mainnet for Stardex. So that is also going to be very interesting and a big feature that is going live now on Stargaze. And also remember that Stargaze is launching Astra, which is an L2 on Stargaze. There's also using Celestia underneath for data availability, which also fits into the modularity theme. And that also means that Stargaze has a lot higher and better performance. And also remember that Stargaze, similar to Osmosis and Injective and some others, has also a token burn. And so far, 25 million stars has been burned. I think it is 2% of each retail trade on the Stargaze marketplace, of which 1%, so 50% goes to stakers and the other half actually gets burned. And so far that accrued to 25 million. So the more success and adoption Stargaze is getting and signature collections are landing and launching on Stargaze, the better it is for the burning effect of the stars token. On the other hand, we also have updates from Forma Chain, which to be honest, I haven't really wrapped my head around fully, because Forma is, I think, kind of a competitor to Stargaze, but also they're focusing on a different market. I think it's more for actual artists, but I'm also not really sure What I know though is that they're also deploying a bridge. So Forma is also run on Astria and also uses Celestia, but also Hyperlane and Stride have built a bridge. We with Sexito are actually one of the operators for that bridge too, which means you can use Forma with MetaMask, and for that you have to bridge it over. You can find it here on the website. Why am I saying this? Well, I'm saying this because there's now a new mint, the Habitats Mint, which is a bit pricey if you compare it to Slush, for example. Slush was sold for, I think, 0.3 TI, if I'm not mistaken. This one is a 10x of that, but might be interesting. This is how the bridge looks like. You can connect your Kepler or Leap here, and also you can connect your EVM wallet, MetaMask here, and actually just takes a couple of seconds. Lastly, also some more alpha around Tribbles. I talked about it in the last video, how this is going to be potentially something around IST interprotocol agoric. Now we know a lot more. This is a meme coin project that is also aiming to kind of promote interprotocols IST, and also a lot of the infrastructure. There's also now a collaboration on Omniflix, and apparently the first batch minted out within just a few hours, but there are more collections dropping soon. So get your IST ready, and yeah, also get more and more familiar with minting IST. I made a full-on tutorial about that. We also have this ongoing media partnership with Interprotocol. So we are in close contact with the team and getting and sharing this information as soon as possible. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. You learned something. I always learn a lot kind of preparing for the videos and also recording them, shooting them, editing them. I think it really helped me, and I hope it helps you too. And if you appreciate that, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon here on Cryptosito. Until then, stay safe and be good.